My name is Lon Welsh at Your Castle Real Estate, and I want to talk a little bit about the Denver real estate market and what's happening. I have a video that talks about the composite for the entire market, which may be of interest to some viewers, but this particular video is only going to talk about homes and condos between $500,000 and $900,000. So this tends to be like a second time trade up for a slightly nicer house. So on the left-hand side, you see the showings per active listing, and you can see the dashed purple line is the number of showings in March, April, and May of last year, and that solid blue line is the same performance for these time periods this year. So you can see the beginning part of March, we actually had more showing traffic this year than last year. The market was very strong. About the middle of March, we had a lot of negative information in the media about COVID. We all had to change a lot of our habits, and there was a lot of negative results in the stock market going down quite a bit. As a result, you can see the showing traffic went from about 5 showings per listing per month to about 1. Dramatic. For part of that time period in April, we were not even allowed to show buyers' homes. And then in the last 2 weeks, many of those restrictions have been eased, and you can see the showing traffic in the last 2 or 3 weeks has really rebounded quite rapidly, which is very good to see. The rebound has not been quite as powerful as it has been in the lower price points, probably because people don't need to trade up to a $700,000 house. That's always sort of like a nice to have, not a need to have. So this market segment will probably be a little slower to recover than the middle market is. On the right-hand side is the number of newly added listings. Over the entire time period, the number of new listings added this year is roughly equivalent to what we had last year. It's been a little more choppy in when those listings have come to the market, but overall, there's quite a lot to choose from. So if you're a buyer in this segment, odds are you're going to find something that you like. Okay, next I want to talk on the left-hand side about the number that went under contract. So you can see that for the first 5 or 6 weeks of this time period, all of March, the first part of April, the number that we were putting under contract was very similar to last year. So this market did pretty well. You can see that the second, third, and fourth week of April, quite a lot less under contract activity than last year. Primarily that's because we weren't allowed to show homes, and it's tough to sell a house that you can't show. Since the showing restrictions have been lifted, you can see in the last 2 weeks the number of under contracts has skyrocketed, actually slightly above the performance of last year, which I think is highly encouraging. If you turn your attention to the right-hand side of the chart, what you're going to see is the number that actually closed. So you can see for March, we had very strong closing activity, quite a lot better than last year. April and the first part of May has been a lot less. So the way this leading indicator will work is there's about a 3 to 5 week delay between going under contract and when you cross the finish line and actually close on the deal. So if you look at your under contracts, you can see that it really has been great for the last 2 weeks. So we have somewhere between 1 to 3 more week delay before the number of closings will really start to jump up to a more historical sort of a level. You may see a little bit of that at the tail end of May. June should be really good, and we're anticipating that July and August will be fantastic. So if you're a buyer who's thinking about buying in this segment, I would be looking very actively right now. There's plenty of inventory to choose from, and the larger rush of buyers hasn't hit the market yet, so you might have a little bit more of a negotiation advantage before, say, June and July when it really gets chaotic. If you're thinking of selling, this would be a great time to list. If you want to wait a few more weeks, that's fine too, but we do expect it'll be a great selling season this summer.